if you can't tell by the intro and the title of the video, I got the madness again, but not the bad type of madness. I think it's like a more welcoming madness, right? Like, essentially, I've been riding the exact same setup for like, I don't know, 2 years almost, right? Like 14-inch wheelbase on the Ventures, the V-Lights, similar wheel sizes and shapes, and like even just recently with all the April boards. And it was just, I guess, getting boring and getting, I don't know, I wanted change, right? Like, I guess I just was kind of ready for something new. And I really wanted a bigger board, but the problem is with Ventures is that you run into a limited choice of boards because essentially on Ventures, 14 inches is the shortest I could skate. Like, I needed a 14-inch wheelbase or shorter to skate those trucks. And 8.5s, 8.75s, boards like that generally have a 14 and a quarter or bigger wheelbase. You can find 14 8.5s, but like I said, it's just more common to find a 14 and a quarter on an 8.5, and that's where these come in. So essentially, I got the widest truck I could to give me the most options, right? So with the 159s, 8.75 axle, I can skate anything from an 8.5 now to a 9. So what do I mean by, like, I can skate 8.5s to 9s now, right? So on an 8.75 axle, on an 8.5 board, the wheels aren't going to stick out much, if any, right? And then on a 9-inch board, they would just be slightly tucked in. So this gives me loads of options to try bigger boards for slappies and just generally skating a bigger board with my size 12 foot would be pretty nice, right? So yeah, and then I went with the forged titaniums for two reasons. One, they're the exact same height as the Venture V-Lights. So with the forged base plate, this brings the height of this truck to 53.5 millimeters, which is the exact same as the V-Lights that I was on. So we're not going to feel a crazy difference on the height of my board. It's going to be similar, or the same, I mean. And then the other reason is these are super light, and going from an 8.25 truck to an 8 3/4 is going to be substantially heavier. So I wanted the lightest version of the widest truck I could get, if that makes sense, right? They're expensive, so I don't know. But yeah, so I went with these. And then I got a set of the independent 92 medium hard bushings. So yeah, I've been on a very stable venture for a while. And to go on to some indies will probably be very turny and squirrely for me. If you just watch the Venture loose trucks video, I'm not like a loose truck guy. So I think that this is a good solution. These are just the orange ones that come in the Independence, I believe, are 90 diameter, and these are just 92. So it's just a little bit harder. Yeah, and I think it'll just make it feel much more stable, at least to start. We'll use these, and if it feels too tight or if I can't get used to it or something, I don't know, we can put the orange ones back in, right? So yeah, that's the game plan with those. Then I just got some 7/8 Phillips independent hardware, just regular standard black. Yeah, nothing special. I did want Phillips though. This board is very much me throwing it back to like when I was like skating my best, right? Like I was thinking a lot, and I'm like, man, I used to skate nothing but like 8.5 toy machines on Indy 149s, I think, or maybe, yeah, like the 8.5 Indies. So these are definitely like new, but it's very reminiscent of what I used to love skating like the most, you know? So, yeah. And then I got the Little Johns, obviously. Use code NICETRY at checkout for 10% off. Best rails you could get. And then, oh, another fun little side note is that the graphics on these Ashad lock-in classics, they just naturally wore off. Like, there's a little bit left on this wheel. But yeah, so you don't even really need to bother. It'll just come off naturally from skating. Oh, and then the board. So this is a Mom Skate Shop 8.5, and it's 14.25 wheelbase. 32 inches, maybe a hair over 32. And yeah, I think it's 14 1/4. We got a 7 1/8 on the nose. Like 6 3/4 on the tail. So yeah, pretty good shape. I forget what manufacturer they use. I'm very fortunate. Our skate shop, the local skate shop here, they make very quality shop boards. Like the shop boards you find at other skate shops, sometimes they'll have no stain plies, and you know, they just cut a lot of costs to make it cheaper for you and for them. But yeah, this Dave, he spares no expense. He gets 2 stain plies and he does the graphics himself. And he also does all the graphics for swim skateboards, or well, a bunch of them. I don't know if it's all of them. It's a bunch of them. I know he does a lot of Dan's graphics and things like that. So yeah, very cool that you get good graphics on a good board for a good price at the shop. So shout out Mom Skate Shop. That's rad. And then of course we're going with the Pepper Galaxy grip again. I've been really liking it. Haven't had any issues with the glitter getting on my hands or anything. And again, I think it's subtle enough to where it's like cool because I can see it, but it's also like chill enough to where it just, you know, kind of still feels like just normal grip tape. And the performance of it is really good. It's, like I said, very similar to Alvear. Like, haven't had any issues, and yeah, the life of the grip tape is very long. Like, I haven't had a issue with it getting slippery yet or anything, I should say. But yeah, we're gonna get this set up. Enough rambling. I'm gonna get it whipped together real quick. And then I kind of want to just like stand on it, see how it feels, see how these trucks look on it, and then see how the bushings feel, just like kind of giving it a little bit of a turn. I'm not going to be able to skate today, unfortunately. It has been very cold and very wet and crappy the past week. But hopefully in a day or so, we should be able to get some skating in on it. But that'll be a separate video. So for today, we're just setting it up, seeing how it looks and seeing how it feels. But I'm gonna put the new bushings in, and I'm not gonna obviously like crank them down super hard or anything. And we'll do all that in the next video. All right, so we're back. I just kind of like whipped through that setup. I didn't really want to talk through it too much. Just kind of wanted to get it put together, you know what I mean? But I am honestly like pretty shocked at how light it is considering, right? So we ended up doing a cool little surf line down the middle of the board. I thought it was only appropriate. And the blue stain on the top was just so sick. I had to keep something, you know? Had to keep looking at it. And honestly, it's pretty close dead center on that. Pretty happy with myself. A little off, but you know, you can only get so much. And I actually really measured out the rails on this, and they're perfect. I figured out a new system. Essentially, I put a couple of marks going down with the tape measurer, and then once I get the first rail in place, the second rail I can line up by just doing a straight line across top and bottom, and then they're not off center at all, which is perfect, and it's really easy. The hardware Phillips was actually kind of snagging on my grip tape and like making it spin, and I wasn't very hyped on that. And yeah, I don't know if it's just the hardware or whatever, but yeah. And then the trucks are so sick, but I did stand on it and it does feel like way too squirrely for me. I know that these need to break in, but I honestly think that it might be better to just put those blue bushings in and get used to those. So we're gonna do that. I keep on losing track of what the nose and tail is on this, so I gotta put a sticker on it like right now, real quick. I think for this, we're just gonna go with the mom sticker. Had to get a sticker on there because I kept losing track of nose and tail because of this graphic. It's just, my trucks aren't ground down or anything, so yeah. Now we know what the nose is. Perfect. So this is what the stock bushing's in, and you can just kind of really see that it's like, you know, it's got a lot of play in it, so, I mean, I'm sure I could skate it. It's totally fine, but yeah, get it a little bit more stable because I'm coming off the ventures, and it's gonna be crazy. I honestly feel like this is the best time to do this with trucks too. If you're gonna switch out the bushings, like, it's probably better to do it right off the rip before you start grinding down this bolt. And yeah, I know some people are really into the inverted kingpin trucks. I've never really liked them. I don't know. I just kind of like the standard trucks. Are these any different? Curious. The washers that come with these aftermarket ones are a little bit smaller. I hope these bushings work because, like, honestly, I like the blue a lot. Way sicker than the orange. See how it feels? Oh, yeah. Still a lot of turn. Still a lot of, like, yeah. Just feels a little bit more steady. That's it. Pepper grip job, independent hardware, independent titaniums, 159s with aftermarket 92 durometer independent bushings, and Spitfire wheels, Lock-In Classics, Bronson Raws. That's, yeah, Little John's rails. That's it. Boom. Now, I hope that you guys out there don't start getting madness because of this video. If you're happy with what you're skating, skate what you're skating. I more or less chose this madness. Just, I was getting bored with my setup. I wanted to try different boards. I was very locked into that 14-inch wheelbase on those ventures. But yeah, I mean, if you can skate ventures on multiple different wheelbases, then switch. But for me, I needed to try something new. And I think this is a good route. This board is a lot bigger than my old one, and it honestly doesn't feel much different. And oddly enough, even though that this has a 14.25-inch wheelbase, when I line up my axle to axle on both boards, my old and new, you can see that the yeah, it's like basically the same. So I was able to go up a whole 1/4 of an inch on my wheelbase here, get a bigger board, and the reality is my trucks aren't really going to be moving any differently. And then, yeah, like I said, these trucks open up a whole bunch. I can skate everything from 8.5 to 9 now. So I can try different slappy boards and different setups for stuff like that. And I think, honestly, I think a bigger truck is just going to help me out. I think I can use every little advantage I can at my age. So skating those skinny little trucks with my big old feet, it just made it hard to like aim for things. I think I was just skateboarding in hard mode, you know, where it's like, why not make it easier for myself and get a bigger board with bigger trucks and just have an easier time slapping and doing all the things that I like to do. It's probably going to be a little harder to do some flip tricks, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be easier to land them. I don't know, but that's going to do it for the video. Again, I hope this doesn't give you guys madness. I was just really bored with my setup, and I thought it was time for a change. So we're gonna try it out. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Liking the video really does help. So if you made it this far, give it a like. And yeah, we'll see everyone in the next video when we get to skate the board.
Don't know nothing about me, dude.